Hey guys, Phil here at Woods Tree Farm. We are all set up and ready for Christmas. We're pretty much just waiting for the trees to get here, and while we're doing that, we are starting to make some of the arrangements, wreaths, and swags, and that's what today's video is going to be about. So we're going to show you some of the swags that Stacy makes, and she's also got some decorative buckets that we can give you a little preview into as well. So follow along today. Let's have a little fun. Here we go. Inside our shed here, this is our little wreath making bench. Yes, it's small, but this is, we put one of those little wreath clamp, what is that thing called? It's just called a wreath clamp, right there on the bench. So when we're making the wreaths, we can use that to close the wreath rings. You can see hanging up all around Stacy are a number of bows we commissioned this year. Stacy's aunt and
thanks, Donna.
Yeah, and Stacy made a bunch of bows as well. So we've got a good collection of bows started here, and we'll end up putting those in all the wreaths and swags. And Stacy is just finishing up a swag now that she'll tell us a little something about.
Here's a finished swag. I've got to fluff up the bow, and I'll tell you how to do this. But really, the bow is the last part, and you just kind of rearrange the thing. But I just use pine and cedar, and then use some not real ornament.
What are those, like berries?
Yeah, they're just supposed to represent berries. Slapped a bow on it. I got lucky, and this, one of the pine branches I chopped off from the tree with my loppers had a pine cone attached, so I just left it. Very, very natural, which is kind of cool. But yeah, you can just wrap this around like a column at your house. And what I'll do to finish it, I mean, this is a finished swag, but you can kind of see this is kind of hanging off to the side, not really symmetrical. That kind of stuff bothers me, as well as there's some like fungus down here, so I'll probably just snip that off. So I just use floral wire. I use a thin gauge. I don't even know what gauge this is. This is a 26 gauge. I think that's what this is, to secure all of the ornaments, bows, as well as the swag together. It's really easy just to kind of twist really tight with your hand. Make sure when you're putting the swag together that you have an extra long, kind of like this, and I cut it with just little wire clippers. Do not use your snips. If you use your snips, you could damage them, so definitely don't do that. I did that last year. Phil yelled at me. So
there was no yelling, but I had to resharpen the
right.
I had to resharpen the snips there, and there were a number of little wire-shaped gouges on the blade.
I do want to say one more thing. If you work with pine or any kind of fresh greens that are super sappy, you're gonna want to have an ammonia mixture, which I have down here, and it is a 1:4 ammonia and water. Get some paper towels, and you're just going to squirt off your tools. Also the wreath, the clamp right here sometimes will get really sticky and gummy, and you want to make sure you take care of your tools so you can cut clean, have clean cuts on the branches.
So we've just got out here an assortment of pine and cedar branches, right?
Right. So because our trees haven't been delivered yet, I just have this. But I find that these actually make really good swags, and I can always just add in some fur to those arrangements at the last minute before we start selling stuff. So the first thing you want to do is have loppers, go to the field and get big branches, kind of like this. We've already kind of cut some. Caroline, you want to hold that for me?
And these are eastern red cedar, which grow like weeds around here. I mean, they're everywhere on our property.
It's kind of nice.
We don't really need to be too selective in where we get those branches.
No. And what I'll do when we get back is I will snip some of the good pieces off that would make good, and I use these in wreaths and in swags. So I'll just snip some of this off. And for a wreath or even a swag, you want about as long as your snips. For a swag, a little bit longer. And you can always cut some off when you're in there working. And I just kind of snip some off. I make my pouch. You can see I have crates and a little miniature wheelbarrow here. That's what I do to organize all of my pieces, and that way it makes it faster when you're actually assembling the swag or wreath.
So all you're really going for is just something that's somewhat symmetrical.
Yeah,
and 12 to maybe 15 or 18 inches long.
Yes, for a swag, because you're going to put a bow on it and you want it to hang down some. A lot of people use these on their door or on columns, or on, we're gonna put 2 at our sign at the front of the farm. All right, Caroline, what kind of decorations are we gonna put in this one? So what I do is, we're gonna place these just to kind of see how they're gonna go, and then I will secure the top and then secure the ornaments on.
I think we should put some white berries with one right there and some gold berries.
Oh, some gold berries. Ooh, fancy.
You got enough decorations on there, Caroline?
Yeah. Somewhere. Can I see it?
Yeah, so we're gonna do some white berries with the gold silver berries. They kind of look silver in this light. On this one, and I might actually put a few of these silver ornaments just to add a little extra special touch. All right, so these are not secure yet, and it's okay if they fall out. But I'm gonna make sure all of the tips are kind of at the top. And you just, I pull it from behind, kind of keep the wire even.
Can't really see the wire that well.
Oh yeah, that's the point. So I just pull it as tight as I can and twist. And don't worry about smushing it, it's okay. And then I flip it over, this is where these come out.
So,
and then twist it again, because you want it super secure.
I've got a question.
Sure.
So the ornaments that you just pulled out don't actually get held in place by the wire?
Not this top wire.
Okay. No. So how do they get held in place?
More wire.
Okay.
More wire.
So you are just visualizing where you want your ornaments to go.
Yes. I always place things just to kind of get an idea, and that way when I start with the wire, I just go, go, go.
Okay.
I also, when I'm doing this, I always pull this wire up, and that way I know where it is. It's easy to find. This one actually, Caroline, we did a good job with this one. So then I just shove this in here like this, kind of tuck it in so it looks a little bit more natural. And I want to put it next to a branch or branches that I can tie it to that are in the arrangement. I probably could have put that one in, but typically I don't put it at the top because some of them are going to be down here, so I tie it to those branches. Kind of move some of the branches out of the way, the greenery, grab a branch. Again, you don't have to be perfect. It's not science. You don't want it too perfect, right? You want it to look natural. Just twist. I'm probably going to go back around the other way.
So I think your hands were in front of the camera the whole time you're doing this, but let's pause for a second and show what you're doing.
Okay.
So you've got the stick from the ornament up against a branch inside there. You put a piece of wire around it, and now you're just twisting it.
Yep.
Okay.
So you can see it's starting to take shape.
Now the hard part, picking out a bow.
Oh my gosh, decisions. I think this is gonna look beautiful. And so since this one doesn't have that little pine cone at the top, I can actually move it up a little bit higher. Just.
Your bow's already got wire, so you're just using that wire to attach it to.
Yes. Oh, this looks so good. This turned out so great. I love this. I kind of wanted it at our house. But as you can see, I just added a couple ornaments, tied the bow on last, and you can really see the pine. I might snip this a little bit just to make it a little bit...
yeah, that one's a little unsymmetrical.
Yeah. Or move some stuff around. I might... Sometimes you can just adjust it depending upon how tight you make it.
And what do you mean by adjust it?
So I'm kind of pushing that branch. See how it came down? I'm pushing that branch back up into the top that I did up here. Sometimes you can do that. I do that with wreaths a lot. But yeah, that's ready for a home.
That is our how to make a swag video. That's how we do it, at least. And we're only in year 2, not that we have a tremendous amount of experience doing this, but Stacy sold quite a few last year, and she's already gotten some requests this year, so we think we're going to do quite a few once we open. And
wreaths.
We're going to do a lot of wreaths, which we haven't even started on yet, but
yeah.
Stacy's getting jump started on the swags and the buckets, and we'll have plenty of things available for people when we do open next week. So that's going to be it for today, guys. If you got any questions or comments, leave those below this video in the comments section, and Stacy can answer your swag questions, not me. And
I'll try my best. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you can see more activities for the upcoming Christmas season or other items around the farm.
all right, thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.